Middle axles and 6x6 go hand in hand. Yes, they do. You just can't have one without the other. Unless, of course, you just want 6 tires and 6 wheels and double up on the rear. That's considered a dually. But that's not what we're doing here today. If you haven't done this already, please like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and I will catch you on the other side. A few years ago, I built a Phoenix 6x6, and Vanquish did not have a middle axle, which is like a pass-through axle, for a 6x6. So I used an axial middle axle, basically with one of these here. I had it lying around for it because at the time there was no straight axle that you could buy to do a conversion, right? So an axial, at one point in time with the Unimog that came out, they came out with a conversion kit that you can convert an SCX10 to a 6x6 if you wanted. Well, anyway, welcome to Henry's RC Garage. And today we're going to take this axle and make it into a middle axle. But anyway, like I was saying, here's my Phoenix, right? And there's the middle axle that was from Axial that I had put on. It does work. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it, right? I just pretty much wanted to put an F10 axle on it from Vanquish. So we're going to DIY a middle axle. So to start off with, you're going to need a few things. Obviously, you're going to need an axle. You're going to need an F10 axle. You're going to need a third member, an extra one, and an extra pinion. Yeah, you're going to need a pinion for that because for the pass-through, you need a pinion for the rear axle. You're going to need a Dremel. You're going to need a 2.0 hex driver. And what else you're going to need? You're going to need you're going to need a file to file down to make things smooth for when you cut the pumpkin off. And what else? Let me look over here. What else are we going to? Oh, you may need a shop vac. Why would you need a shop vac? Well, when you're dremeling plastic, you're going to make a big mess, and little plastic pieces are going to go flying everywhere. Make sure you wear your safety goggles. Safety goggles are key to doing this. So, what else did I've done? What else are you going to need? Grease. You're going to need some grease for the axle. And let's get started here. So, for the most part, what I've done is I took this axle right here, and there's these little, the pumpkin, right? You're just going to take the back pumpkin off, and where this line is right here, I just kind of started on the, like on that side of it. So I could keep as much of the center intact as possible in case I needed to shave off some stuff to make things fit. And I did the same thing on the upper part here, where that hole is where you put the plug in on a normal. Basically, in the end, this is what it looks like. So with the pumpkin cut off. Well, with that, okay, so now let's look at that, right? There you go. So, and then I took I believe it was a 5/32 or 5/64 drill bit, and I just, where the current holes were on this axle, I drilled all the way through to get the holes on the rear side, right? So then I used the file to smooth things down, get things kind of level. I mean, you don't really have to be exact, but try to get close as possible. So with that, that's what I did. And the spacing between the bottom here and here is gonna be 15.20 millimeters, right? And then I kept that a little thick, just a few millimeters, maybe 40 millimeters thick, and just to give the lower pinion just a hair up, right? Because after I looked at my 6x6, that's pretty much, I think, what I need. Maybe I'll have to do some more shaving down the road. I don't know. But for the moment, that seems to work pretty well. So on the upper part of this axle, from the screw hole to screw hole here, the center part is going to be 14.80 millimeters. And that's what I came up with on both sides, and it seems to work because I've already had this together, and I've already had it apart and put it together again. I've already done as much as I can to make it work, right? So we got that. We did need a little extra things here. I wanted to put a little gasket on there to help with dust, water, dirt, and stuff like that. So on this flipped third member, I put a little gasket on. It was a something I had left over from somewhere. It's called a silicone door window seal. It's approximately, I want to say the thickness is about maybe what is it? I measured it 0.65 millimeters. So it's not quite a millimeter, but it's a gasket. So it's gonna, when you screw it in, it's going to tighten things up. You can put a little grease on it, maybe a little silicone, shock oil, whatever, just to, lube it up a little bit. And then the other thing is I needed to cover up the bearing retainer holes on the third member, because those are holes we don't want dirt and water and whatever else to get in there. So what I did was I took one of these bearing retainers and I cut the little knobs off, or little standoffs off, right? So I cut those off with an X-Acto knife, and then I put them in into where the holes are, and I just used M3 6mm screws to go in and just to secure them and make sure that they're kind of flat like they would be on the normal third member for the front. Just kind of make sure that they're kind of flat so they don't interfere with the ring gear. I did that. Didn't do much with the ring gear except with the main third member with the ring gear and pinion and bearings. That's all normal. And from there we've got the M2.5 by 10 millimeter screws, and then the manual for the Phoenix for the straight axle, and I believe it's the same for the Portal. I don't know. I didn't look at that one. But the screws that come with the third member to put onto the front side of that, they are the M2 2.10 by 10 millimeter. So I used the same in between on the rear, because when I measured it all out, when it was all said and done, I had about 1.5 millimeters where the screws would not touch, right? So there's still a little bit of like a 1.5 millimeters gap, which is good. Otherwise, you would probably have to get a longer 2.5 screw or bolt, cap head bolt. I believe I measured it out. I think it was about maybe 25 millimeter, somewhere around there, because you would put a nut on it at that point. So I'm going down with the two 2.6 or 2.5 by 10 millimeter screws for both sides. So that's a total of 8. What else did we do? So from there, we need to space out the pinion, right? So there's very little play or no play at all, because that seemed to work the best. So what I did was I came up with 3 shims, and the shims are pretty much 0.25 millimeter. And these come with the currently with the Phoenix kit, or to shim out your center drive shafts. So I have 3 of these, and you may have to find a couple extra somewhere. You can get a package from Vanquish or from your local hobby shop for those. And then I used 3 of those, so that's 0.75. And then I used a 1 millimeter shim from MIP, because I have, with my other projects, I had MIP center drive shafts, and I just had these little extra ones lying around, because when you buy a package that comes with a couple of extras for spacing or for length anyway. So I'm using these just as a holder, a placeholder, until I physically put it on a truck. So let's take this and let's put our front one in here. We're going to put that in, and you only need to put them in until they're snug, right? You don't have to crank down them. Over the years, I've put enough of these together, and if you crank down on it, or if you don't leave it snug and you crank down, you're going to get binding. You're going to get between your pinion and your ring gear, and that's not good. You don't want to grind anything. You don't want to grind those gears. You want to make sure that they're flowing smoothly. So just snug them down, because we're gonna come back in a few here, and we're gonna do something a little extra, so that so it prevents a lot of this stuff, right? So I'm not putting any grease on this right now. Maybe I should. Maybe I'll put some grease on it. Let's. I wasn't going to, but you know what? Save some time. I don't have to do anything. I don't have to do anything else with this. I'm just going to put some grease on it. So we're going to get our marine grease out. Let's get our marine grease out. And I'm going to put a little grease on this. You don't have to go. I just kind of cover the whole thing. All the gears. I just kind of go through and I just kind of, on the ring gear anyway, because you're gonna get enough of this on there. So get enough on there. There you go. Yeah, that seems to work pretty good. All right, so put that aside for the moment, and then we're going to take our third member here for the rear. We're going to flip it, right? So it's going to be facing down. It's going to be completely opposite. So completely opposite of the front. So we're just going to flip that, and we're going to put that right here, like you say, and we're going to take out our other 2.5 10 millimeter screws, and we're going to start screwing it into the back. And then just snug that up. You don't have to crank down on it. You don't want to. What you don't want to do is you don't want to grind those gears as much as you'd like to grind. It's not good to grind. So we're just going to put those in, snug them up, and we should be good to go. And as far as the gasket, the rubber gasket goes, I will provide some information on those. Basically what it is, I cut off a piece of that what I said earlier there, the silicone door seal, and I just kind of used an X-Acto knife, and I kind of went around the bottom of the third member to cut it out. And then when I got that done, I needed to cut the center part out because you gotta make sure it's open inside. So with that, the center piece, which is like, this is what it was when I cut it out the first time, and then this is the center piece to open up that gasket a little bit. And this is basically 26 millimeters, which is the width, and then the height is a 21.5. That's what I cut out. Seems to work pretty well. I didn't really have much issues, and everything seems to be working appropriately here. Let me make sure this is down a little bit. So this should be snug now. These should be a little snug. I'm not cranking down on it as much as I'd like to, but anyway. So now we're gonna get our calipers out, and basically what our calipers are gonna do is I'm gonna measure head to head, right? Outer head to outer head, the cap head on here. The bottom is gonna be 26.55 millimeters is what I did originally. That's kind of what worked pretty well. And then I've got the upper part is going to be a 26.30, around there. It doesn't have to be exact. So let's work on the upper part. So we're gonna take the upper part, and we're just gonna snug that up just a hair more. Rather turn. Okay. That's about right. And then this one we got to come out a little bit. Just work it until you get to, the upper part is 20, what did I say? 26.30. Okay. And again, this doesn't have to be exact, just so that you don't get a lot of binding or grinding of gears. Okay. It's a little tedious, yes, but there we go. So now the bottom part is going to be 26.55, and let's see where we're at. Oh my God, we're almost there on that bottom one. we're going to, there we go. And then the other side here, oh my God, just a hair more here. Just, there we go. Okay. Works there. All right. So, like I was saying earlier, we got to put our shims on. So we want to put our shims on the pinion, right? So we're just going to pull that pinion out a little bit so that it's not grinding up against the ring gear. That's the whole objective here. We don't want to grind up against the ring gear, because when you grind, you start wearing and tearing, and then all of a sudden you're replacing. So we're gonna, and we got these little pins here. We're just gonna put our pins in. And we, again, these little drivetrain, these little drive things here, cups or whatever you want to call them, they're just there to hold in the shims until I get ready to put it on the truck. So, and now we're going to put our axles in, and that has a bearing. We're going to put those in, and then we're going to put our bearing caps on, covers, whatever you want to call them. And then these are also these are M3 6 millimeters. And that's going to call that. And then we're going to put this one in. Ultimately, we just don't want any grinding. Just try to do what you do what you can if you're going to do this. And basically, when I'm all said and done, my Phoenix 6x6 will be, as far as everything, will be from Vanquish. So there won't be any piecemeal with that middle axle from Axial. And I do have a video on the overview of my 6x6 there. So if you go out and check my channel out, it will, yeah. So with that grease in there now, it runs pretty smooth. I can't believe how smooth that is. I mean, by just taking some measurements, making sure that you're all on par. Just this middle axle there's no grinding. I mean, there's just smooth. It's just real smooth. And there you have it. Well, now we have a middle axle with the pass-through, which Vanquish does not make. I mean, yes, you could probably get one from Traxxas, but those are portals. Can you convert the portals to a straight axle? I don't know. I think you can. Then Axial does not make the kit anymore. This is the kit, right? Along with whatever else they were putting in the kit. I think they were putting some extension rails and stuff like that. They don't make those anymore. So, I mean, what are you to do? I mean, you could buy aftermarket. You know, I think there's some companies out there that will have the aluminum ones, but I think for the most part, those were portals. I don't remember. I didn't look them up. But even if they had the straight axles, now you're buying all aluminum. Now you're spending probably more money, where the plastic is, this plastic housing is probably, I think, less than 20 bucks, maybe 15. I have no idea. I didn't look it up. But everything here, it's basically out of the kit, out of the Phoenix kit. And you could make this yourself. So anyway, with that, thank you for watching. And if you haven't done so already, please like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and I will catch you on the next one.